All right, everyone. Hello. We are going to jump right into our session so we can get you guys out of here within an hour, 5 minutes. Okay, today we are looking at USA women's national team semifinal from last year against England, 2019. Great game, which coincides with the little webinar from yesterday with Olympian and USA women's national team player as well. So that could be a little fun for those that were there. Not the same team, but could be a little bit of fun. All right, so we're just gonna get right into it and check it out. We're gonna start off with a little video to get us into the mood. So I'm gonna start sharing the screen now. All right, start that again. A moment. Okay, we have a few more stragglers coming in. All right. So, and we shall thus begin. Just Rose Lavelle with the perfect little nutmeg getting a shot off. And that is what we saw for a decent amount of the game from both sides. So, to start off, USA versus England, World Cup semifinal 2019. Okay, this was the lineup from back to front. Classic about 4-3-3. No surprises there. And I think you know most, if not all, the players. All right. So, gonna just get right into it. We're gonna see a bunch of So this is how they would set up. All right. Four at the back. We have Ertz in the hole as the six, and then another line of four and a striker. So defensively looked much like a 4-1-4-1, which is quite often used because it gives you two banks of four, defensive line, midfield line, and then also a six in the hole to protect just behind that midfield line if ever it is broken. Because if that midfield line is broken, it is the whites versus the back line of the four. And that is very, very dangerous. You know that spot where Julie Ertz right there occupies it is a very, very important spot. And so that 4-1-4-1 is brilliant. It's more of a 4-3-3 with the wingers much higher up offensively, but defensively, Heath and Press act as midfielders in this case. So that's just a little bit of the background. Okay. And obviously, when they had the ball, they would try to play out from the back regularly, fairly often. Okay. Much more so than earlier on in the World Cup, where they would go direct. They would still play relatively directly, but this one a little bit less so. They try to keep possession of the ball a little bit more because they face a little bit stronger competition. Okay. They had to put on a show, if you will. So, getting right to it. All right. We're going to watch this video and you're going to tell us exactly what you see in this video. Okay. I'll help you tell us what we see. All right. Starting off directly with the goal. So we're going to watch that again. Okay. Ball starts from deep. The ball gets out to Heath, dribbling in, which creates space somewhere else. Even though she loses the ball here, England is no longer set up defensively as they would like to be. Excellent dummy there. Cross, back post, goal. Okay, so we're going to watch that again. This time from beginning again. All right. If you have anything, if you see anything, please don't hesitate to say. All right. Before I give any potential answers or any more answers. There. Okay. So what do we call this movement here by the right back O'Hara, who has overlapped to well, I just gave you the answer. Has overlapped to the right side here, receives the ball after a dummy by Rose Lavelle and cross at the back post. Okay. The latter part of that play is what we're going to discuss. Okay. What is so important about this this run about Kristen Press here. At the back post, why is it so important that she goes back post? I know I yell at players all the time to be going back post, back post, back post, back post, back post on any cross, corner, anything. Any ideas?
In case it misses the first player.
There you go. Even if the target isn't the back post, it might miss the first player, it might miss the entire defense. You need someone at that back post, whether it's to score or to put the ball back into the box. So the fact that she hangs out at the back, and not just that, but we have one player going more towards the middle to occupy players here. So she's occupying two players by coming in here. We have another who's Haran, who's coming back post as well. They both understood what needed to be done. Press is there. She's attacking, going towards the ball, while Lucy Bronze is backing up. So Press has the advantage. She gets her head on the ball, does extremely well. So when we say back post, and it might seem that you're farther away from goal and you have less of a chance to be part of it, no, your positioning there is absolutely paramount and essential to the gameplay. Okay, just so well done. Okay, anything about O'Hara's assist here? Just what do you see? What happens in the assist? What exactly is created here? It's a cross, certainly. We know that. It's a deep cross. Let's help out a little bit. So, first off, it's one time. All right. Doesn't need to take a touch. She slows down slowly and gives herself time to lift up her head. If she's lifting it up her head down to see where she wants to pick out the cross. So, that's the number one. One time, that's the number two. Number three is the arc of the ball and how it moves, okay? She gets her foot, she wraps her foot around it to make sure that it curls back in, okay? So instead of it going out, she closes that foot a little bit in, so the ball curls back in and really goes straight onto Press's head, who just had to adjust her run just a tad bit here. So it's a one-time cross, which doesn't give the defense time to set up, which is one. She picked out her spot by looking up before, and then she's got the right technique, boom, to put it right where it needs to be. All right, it's all about everything that goes into
it. It's all about everything, Coach?
It's all about, as soon as I said it, I was like, that made no sense. But I was hoping no one would say anything.
Nope, no such luck.
Okay, so we're also going to talk about a bit of the English squad because that's a very good squad. They played very, very well. If you watched the game, it was a very good squad there. Okay, and that there. All right, so, if someone is, there we go, thank you. Okay, so how does Paris get open? And then where's the decoy run? So Paris is the one who's just jumping, the ball's beneath her head, or over her head, I should say. Nikita Paris, there you go, she has the ball now. How does she get open to receive this next pass? There you go, well done. And where's the decoy run? Okay, I think it's fairly easy questions there. All right, so we know who Paris is here. How does she get open to receive the ball a second time? So up to there, how did she get open? And then where was the decoy run? Okay, any answers? Any ideas?
The decoy run was down the right side.
Down the right side, indeed. Absolutely. Okay. And this was useful because, boom, just enough to allow forcing Dunn to back up, allowing Paris to go inside, which then attracts Dunn back, which then gives her more time to pass the ball out to her partner, who doesn't get in the best cross, admittedly. Okay, so that's the decoy, and we got that down. But now how did Paris get open to begin with? Nikita Paris, very fast forward, very winger, very good winger. How did she get open? What is her movement? What does she do?
She checks away from the ball.
Checks away from the ball. Okay, when? Where does she go exactly? She checks away from the ball, but where does she go in relation to the red team, to USA?
In behind.
In behind, yes. In behind which position?
The left back.
The left back, who has been pushed up here, attracted by this ball here. And she just says very simply, I'm going to go to where the space is, which is the space that Crystal Dunn has just vacated now. And you'll see Julie Ertz pointing to that area there. Okay, it's a bit late. Boom. I think that's Walsh who plays the ball, and they're attacked very quickly. Okay, so it's a triangle, a bit of a triangle play, but Paris anticipates that her partner who has the ball now can't get it to her. She'll get the ball another way. Lucy Bronze plays it simply. One touch, two touch, boom, over the top, and they get a chance. Okay. Now, this is, I believe, after the first goal indeed. So what does England do successfully? Okay, England's a team in white. Just up until that part there. Okay, we're going to watch that again. So playing out from the back, we understand that. Why was it successful? A few things we've discussed multiple times over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks now.
There's triangles.
There are triangles. Well done, yes, which means that player A passes to player B, but that means player C is already in preparation to receive the ball while that first pass is being played. Absolutely there. And how about right here when Lucy Bronze receives the ball? She has the ball now. What does she do? All right, let's do that again.
She waits till the defender gets close so she can draw her in.
Absolutely. Okay. And then the space is vacated by press and they occupy that space. And then what does Bronze do after her pass? After this pass right here, what does she do? She continues.
She tries to get open. She checks backwards.
Exactly. She checks backwards. She goes forward with the play. Okay. And they are able to play it forward. But throughout this entire time, if you pay attention to the midfielder in the middle here in particular, she's not the only one, but she's the prime example. Watch what she does before she receives the ball. What does she do?
You check your shoulders.
She checks her shoulders both ways, okay? Both ways. She does it here in the middle. Does it here again. Bronze is checking over her shoulder as well. Pad control here, but it works out in the end. She knows her teammate's making a run. And notice where number 8 there takes the space, okay? She takes the space into the right flank, even though she's a 6, a central midfielder, okay? When a space is vacated, you have to take it up, all right? Now for this one, I want you to pay close attention to the timing of movement, technique, and decision-making, okay? You're gonna watch this video from a few different angles, okay? But this is the full video to begin. Has a lot to break down here, great deal to break down. That pass included. Okay, we're gonna be a little bit more technical in our analysis today. Okay, we're gonna examine tactics, but also the technique of it. So one more time, just having a look. That type of run, where was the pass played, the decision making. Why did she play it to one and not to the other? Okay, all right. All right, so we're gonna start with putting the spotlight on Horan and Lavelle, okay? So 2 central midfielders here, ball there and there. Someone having a little trouble talking there. Might wanna put yourself on mute there, bud. Okay, so what do we see here? There's a lot to see. There's a lot to see. It's 2 passes, that's all it is, but there's a lot to see.
The second midfielder makes her run, and the first one waits for her to finish the run before she passes. Like she waits until she's behind the defender.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so the run it starts just before she gets the ball. Well done. Okay. And then boom, she gives her just enough time to get it in front of the English player. Okay. So it's not so much she waits for her to finish the run, she waits a tad to give her an advantage because Lavelle starts running and the English player is flat-footed. So Lavelle has the advantage. Haran plays it into space and they execute that well. All right, that's one thing. What else do we see?
She gestured for the ball to be played.
Absolutely. That's one type of communication right there. Body communication. She says, I want the ball and I want it here. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. And why does she play it between the two white players here and not in between Lavelle and the midfielder? Why does she play it into this space between the right back and the midfielder and not between the midfielder and straight to Lavelle? Any ideas?
Because she wanted to get a lead on the pass.
Lead on the pass, break a line, and make the simple pass as well, the easier pass. Absolutely. Okay. And the weight of the ball is absolutely excellent as well. Okay. Now, next up.
Milton,
Yes?
before we pass, can you play it one more time so that the players on the call can see, like, the thing that you really see when you watch this over and over again is Haran's one pass takes out 7 England players.
Absolutely.
They have the man advantage here. It's as much about the U.S.'s good tactics as poor tactics from England. They go from, 7v8, decent numbers, to 2v2 with one pass.
Absolutely. It's a great point here, right? This is from transition from defense to offense. We don't see the full clip, but from there's a bad pass by Bronze that Dunn cuts out excellently here. Boom. And as coach said, in one pass, it's 2v2. They eliminate 8 players with one pass because she made the right decision, because she put the right weight on the ball, because she waited half a second to give Lavelle more of an advantage. Okay? That's the first part of it. Next video, we're continuing, and now we're putting the spotlight on Morgan and Lavelle. Why? Why are we focusing on those two there? What do we see? What happens? What does Morgan do?
Morgan,
Yes?
instead of running straight down the field, she goes to the side where the defenders aren't to give Vel an option.
That's one reason. Yes, absolutely. Okay, to give her an option, doesn't go straight. She goes to the space to give Lavelle an option. All right. Why else doesn't she go straight?
She doesn't go straight, so Lavelle can keep going if she wants to.
There's another one. Absolutely. She's liberating space. She is liberating space for Lavelle to continue if she so decides. But also there's one final reason that we always discuss.
To stay on sides?
Stay on sides. Okay, there's to stay on side. All right. So she goes towards the space because the space is towards the left back area. She is continuing as well to allow Lavelle to advance if she so chooses. And also she's making sure she's curving her run so she's not outside. And finally, there is a little angle there that Lavelle can play to in for just half a second. Okay. So all of those are made up in that decision there. Now, why does Morgan go back? And what does the entire team do and why? So when she receives the ball, why does she go backwards with it? And then what is the entire red team, what is the entire USA team doing?
She waits for
Yes?
she waits for her teammates to get up so they can get ready.
Absolutely. And that's basically 2 answers in one. Excellent. Okay. So the pass is slightly behind her. She knows that having been forced to slow down, she won't be able to speed past 2-3 players. So she takes a touch backwards, okay? But that also allows her team to catch up with her, which is basically what we're saying. That transition from defense to offense isn't just important because you were able to eliminate 8 players. That's great. It has to come with the entire team. The entire team has to move forward. All right, if I give an example of this past season for my team, one of my teams, okay, we transitioned from defense to offense. We had a 1v1 with the defender and then the goalie. We were going to get a shot off, but I knew that if we did not score right there, we would lose. And I think Coach Eleanor was actually there for the first half of it, or the first 30 minutes. And the team did not go up. We did not move up with it. We shot, the goalie defended the ball. It went straight back our way, corner, they scored. That was at the end of the game, no minutes left in the game. It came from the fact that our player went by herself all the way, 1v1. The rest of the team did not go, and boom, as soon as we didn't get the ball, we were cut in half, and the team was able to bounce back against us. Here, the USA goes up. You can see them running to get with them, okay? So if ever they do lose the ball, they are in position. Look at that. Already up there. So that's what the entire team does, and that also gives Morgan an option when she cannot go forward. Boom, makes the right decision here. Look at that. Look at that. In about 5 seconds, we went from just 2 red players to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red players that we can see in the frame, okay? Now, we're going to go a little bit more technical, and I want us to really pay attention to this pass by Haran. All right, it's very small video, very short video. Why am I highlighting this video? So I've mentioned weight, I've mentioned direction on a pass. What else can we look at? The spin, speed, the pace of the ball. Why am I highlighting this simple pass? All right, I'll help you out if we're struggling a bit. Okay. Ball receives here, 1 touch, 2nd touch. She gets 1 touch, looks up, sees who she wants to pass to, is press. And then this pass here, boom. It's put on with pace, so the defender can't cut it out. That's 1. That's the easiest thing to see, perhaps. 2, there's spin on the ball, which adds to its curve. Boom. Okay. Excellent there. And that puts out press a little bit farther out, which gives her more time to receive the ball and gives her more of a chance to go 1v1 against what some say is the best right back in the world. Okay. Excellent there. And 3, it shifts the entire team forward and to the side. Okay. So when there's pace on the ball, which is absolutely necessary, because if there's no pace on the ball, even if it does get to press, it gives Bronze time to get on her and pressure her. 2, look at the curve of this pass. Look at this. Look at that spin. Boom. Just enough to make Bronze think she could cut it out, but not actually. Excellent pass. It's an absolutely excellent pass. If we were just to go backwards real quick. Sorry, here. I also want to point out that Morgan makes a good decision by passing to Haran and not passing straight to press here. She could pass it to press. She has a left foot, no issues there. But it would have to be a very precise pass with enough strength to get to her. But at the same time, by Morgan waiting a little bit longer and giving it to Haran, boom. What does that give press time to do? Any ideas what does press do here as that ball is being played? So it gives her a little bit more time to get wide, right there. Gives her more time to get wide. So that started with Morgan saying, I'm going to pass it to Haran, and she can pass it to press. She didn't feel that she had to do everything. And of course not when you have such a good midfielder, they would put the ball on a platter there. Boom. And then what can we see about these first 2 touches here by press? That touch there and that touch there. Remember, we're focusing a little bit more on the technical aspect of it. What do we see? Yes, go ahead.
The first touch makes the English defender commit because it's like just big enough that she thinks she can get it.
I agree with the first half of that answer. It makes the defender commit to go to her. I don't think she actually thinks she can get it, but it makes her commit thinking she might go down the end line. So I have to close that space in, which then creates space for press 2. Especially if you see press, she looks up, she lifts up her arm almost to say as if I'm going to cross the ball. And so Bronze has to close that down. That creates just enough space for her to cut back inside. And that second touch is excellent as well. Okay, what we see here is change of pace and change of direction. And all of that starts off with an excellent first touch here. Puts it into space, looks up, comes inside, and boom. Okay? And we cut it there because the third touch was not as good. Okay, so here, taking that touch in, looking up, and boom. If you see the difference here, look at how press turns and look at how bronze turns. Look at how much time it takes. It's because the attacker has the advantage in this situation. She uses it well. You see that one more time, bronze is slipping, it's behind, while press is already in front. That's what we need to pay attention to, okay? Now, moving back to England here, I want us to pay attention to what the English player did intelligently, okay? All right, this is something we've mentioned sporadically throughout the last few weeks, but I hope that we've started to pick it up now. It's gonna be the central player, I believe. Yes, it's gonna be the central player. That's it. What's so intelligent? What's so important? There's a few good things done here, but the player who finishes with the ball, we're focusing on her, the one in the center circle. We don't see her with the ball for very long, so it has to be something she's doing without the ball. What is it? All right, she is, if you see, checking over shoulder. All right, so we're going to keep our eye on this player here that's right next to the referee to start. And we're going to try to count how many times she checks over her shoulder before she receives the ball, okay? So I'm not going to count for you. I need someone to give me an answer at the end of the video, okay? We're going to play it twice, and I need to see an answer at the end of the video. How many times did we see in 7 seconds? How many times?
I think 4.
4.
4.
Okay. 4. Okay. See this again. Anyone else count a different number? I think 4 or 5 is about right, okay? In a 7-second span. So that means she knew she had time to turn on the ball in this area. If you remember from about 3 weeks ago, we watched the Spain-Netherlands game, and the Dutch player received the ball in the center circle and went almost backwards right away. That was because he didn't check over his shoulder that much, and he didn't see that he had all the space in front of him to advance, okay? She did, and she said, I can take one touch and go forward right away in this space, and boom, okay? And also play a potentially defense-splitting pass as soon as she receives it there. Look at that. All the space in the world because she was able to scan and check her shoulder. So when we say scan, check your shoulder, it doesn't mean once and then you do it again 30 minutes later, or you even do it again 30 seconds later. No, you do it, you keep on doing it, you keep on doing it, you keep on doing it, so you know exactly what is around you, okay? A term I like to use is taking pictures, okay? Got that from a professional player. He said his dad would always tell him when he was a kid to take pictures of the field. Take pictures. It's like a movie. It's always changing. It's always changing. So if you look one time and you don't look again for 10 seconds, everything has changed. Keep on looking over your shoulder. Now here as we watch this video. We're going to break this down a little bit, okay? First English goal scored by, I believe it's the first one, by White, Ellen White, okay? I think we know fairly easily that this is it's changing the point of attack as a switch of play, switch of flank, boom. How many touches does it take to control it and get it the cross in? How many touches does it take to do a switch? And how many touches does it take to score? Okay, so first things first. Kira Walsh here is the one who's switching the field of play. Boom. All right. She takes a touch, she looks up and does it very quickly. She makes her decision quickly, which means she saw the game earlier. You can't make a decision quickly if you didn't see the game early. So she saw the game early and she made that decision quickly. I've seen players, we've all seen players who see something, hesitate. Should I try? I don't know if I can. She didn't hesitate at all. Because she didn't hesitate, her teammate had enough time on the ball to take 1, 2, 3, and 4 touches to get the ball in. Okay. This is Beth Mead. Okay. If we watch this again, I want you to tell me now when she looks up, between what and what, which touches.
She looks up after her first touch.
After her first touch. And she even looks up. She's still looking up while taking another touch. She takes 2 touches without looking because that first touch was so excellent. She watched it the entire time. Boom, boom. She knows what she wants to do. That's why she's able to get a cross in so quickly. And notice that first touch was right foot. That second touch was right foot. That third touch was right foot, but the assist was left foot. Okay. You got to be able to use both feet. So the entire thing that comes in, she backs up, gives herself space, gives her time on the ball. She looks at the ball the entire time, takes a touch, another, and crosses it in. And of course, we know what type of cross this is. This is an outswinging cross because if it were to continue to go all the way, it would be swinging away from the goal. An in-swinging cross is something that swings towards the goal, okay? And look at that. Just so this is a perfect cross in this situation because it comes away from O'Hara, the defender, the fullback, the right back. Okay, she just can't reach it, but it curls away from the goalie, so the goalie can't reach it either. All right, now this is a very tough cross to get because it curls away from one defender here, it curls away from Doc Kemper here, and it curls right into Ellen White's path for the cross. That is an absolutely excellent cross. Right foot, left foot. It was absolutely perfect on it. One more time, one last time. Boom. And I want to focus on the finish. I really want to look at the finish here. What can you tell me about the finish? Anyone?
She catches it on the half volley.
Catches it on the half volley, absolutely.
She keeps running even after she shot. She keeps running towards the goal.
Keeps running, absolutely. Okay, so she follows through a little bit. She keeps that control of it, keeps the control of the body, and keeps control of the ball. Okay. How about her foot in particular? Is it
Did she
more?
use the outside of her foot?
Not quite, but you're on the right path. Is it more open or is it more closed? We see that she used the inside, right? Is it an open foot or a closed foot?
Open.
It's more open, okay? And it's quite open, in fact. That's why if you see the ball goes all the way to the post. She opened it not just to get a foot on the ball. It wasn't just, I need to get my foot on the ball. It was, I need to keep the ball away from the goalie. There's nothing the goalie could do there in this situation. Absolutely nothing. Because it was a picture-perfect, excellent finish there, okay? On the half volley, she didn't struggle with the half volley. She opened her foot just enough so the ball would almost glance off of her foot and go far post. Nothing the goalie could do there. The switch of play was excellent. The cross was sublime, and the finish was supreme. We're going to watch the whole thing over. 1, 2, and 3. Looks up, uses both feet to get an excellent cross in, and the finish is as professional as it can get. Absolutely wonderful finish. Okay. Now we're going to see a split pass, all right, defense splitting pass, a line breaking pass. And I want you to tell me what leads up to it, okay? All right, just the context, you can see the stats there. England was very much in possession, but again, possession isn't everything in soccer. So the pass is coming. It's a bit of a longer video. There's the pass. What leads up to the entire pass? We saw a bunch of things. Don't overthink it. What is the red team doing now? And now what are they doing? Any ideas? Look at what the USA team is doing with this pass here. What do they do? Where are they moving? Which side are they moving to? To the left or to the right?
They're shifting with the ball.
They're shifting with the ball. Absolutely. Okay. And what does that create when you shift? When the opposition shifts, what does that create?
Space on the other side.
Space on the other side and space where else? It also creates space in the lanes. Remember, so a lane is any distance between players of the same line, okay? So we have Haran here and Ertz there. That is the space between that is a lane. So depending on how good the shift is, you can create space. So if you pass the ball very quickly, no matter how good the shift is, space will be created. Okay, and space is created here, and this pass is absolutely excellent. Captain here takes 2 touches. Boom, the player checks into the space and has a great ball back. Watch it one last time. And she puts a bit of pepper on that pass. Absolutely excellent. Okay. All right. Did we all see that? We'll say we did. Okay. So now we're going to put the spotlight on, I want us to watch the first pass, the touch, and then O'Hara's run. Okay. So this pass here, this ridiculous touch there, and then O'Hara is the fullback who's right there. They just don't get the ball in time, but those are the things we're going to be watching in this case, okay? So remember, we're really focusing on the technique of things in this particular video, except for the run. Okay, we'll watch it one more time before we break it down. There we go. All right. So this is Dalcumber with the pass, I believe. Okay, so what exactly do we notice about this pass? What does she do? What does her foot do? What does the ball do, actually? What does the ball do?
She stops her follow through.
She stops her follow through. Okay, when what does that mean? Let's say I don't know soccer. What happens when you stop your follow through?
It adds backspin to the ball.
Okay, adds backspin to the ball. Do we agree? Okay. We can come back to that one. Okay. And what else does the ball do? Is there's backspin, but what does it do? Is it on the ground? Is it in the air? It's in the air. Very good. Yes. All right. But how about her toe there? We watch it at the end. Actually, great job first off to say she stops her follow through. That helps the ball go straight. Okay, because when you follow through all the way through, it's going to add curve to the ball. Okay, so she stops her follow through. That helps the ball go straight. And at the end, if you see there, her foot is off the ground as well. Okay, she had a little bit of a can't find the word, peak to the ball to get it to bounce up to lift into the air, to get it away from any defenders and get the ball there much more quickly as well. Okay. That's number one. She's got her shoulders facing where she wants it to go. She gets her hips into it as well. Stops her foot, her leg, and lifts her foot into the air, and that's what creates that. Now for the touch, we got the information there. For the touch, what can we say about this touch? We can't get a closer picture of it, but if you could just see what she does with it here. Okay. She's the outside of her foot. She meets the ball at the right time. And what's really important is the second touch, okay? Because that first touch wasn't to carry the ball somewhere. That first touch was just to kill it. It was to kill the momentum of the ball. Boom. slow it down, and get her where she wants it. And what's so impressive that she was moving left the way the ball was going. She stops completely, boom, goes right, and cushions the ball with the outside of her foot. Meets the ball at the right time, and lifts it as the ball goes up as well, okay? So instead of trying to control the ball downwards, she controlled it upwards to slow it, and then that prepared her second touch. And also she protects the ball with her body right there, just enough. She doesn't turn around yet. She keeps the defender away from her by keeping her body between the defender and the ball. And okay. So if we're gonna watch that entire thing, stops the follow through. Once again, whoever said stop the follow through, good first vision on that. We don't always catch that. Well done. And look at this run, when this run is made, when this run is started. She may have noticed the run a little bit late, but she picked the right timing because that gave the fullback Stokes, the English fullback Stokes, less time to get it there. She picks the excellent timing on the run, and the pass was just a bit much. Okay. Okay, so Brightmore, Kirby, Daly, Paris, White. All right. I believe this is, okay, the either offsides or yes, the offside goal, I believe. We're gonna watch it all the way through. This would be Moore getting the ball to Kirby, Fran Kirby, playing this pass in here. Ah, yes, the penalty. There you go. I'm so sorry. The penalty, of course. So Bright takes the ball there. Boom. Passes it to Moore. Gets it to Fran Kirby, number 10. Excellent little touch there. Daly with the movement. Paris gets the ball in, and Ellen White gets fouled. Okay. So give you guys a little bit of help on that. Bright is alert but doesn't panic. Our defender here. Instead of just clearing the ball because she's being pressed by who I believe is Morgan, she takes a simple touch inside and gives her time and space. Moore moves one way to shift the defense and then plays the ball. So the next person to receive the ball is here. Look at this. She starts moving right. Defense moves with her and then plays it back to the left to Fran Kirby. Kirby, all this entire time, fantastic name also, is checking and scanning all around her. Look at that, checking again, checking again, checking again, checking again. So she knows where the defender is able to take an excellent touch away from the defender. Scanning, 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 take a touch away from the defender. And thus, in 2 touches, she's able to eliminate the entire back line, put the ball into the box, and get almost a hockey assist, okay? And if we notice as well, Daly doesn't receive the ball, but she's the number 17, I believe, the blonde with the ponytail who moves inside, occupies some defenders, and allows Fran Kirby to play this pass to Paris, to Nikita Paris. And also look at what space Kirby plays the ball into. Look at what space she decides on, okay? She knows Paris isn't there, but she will be there. She forces Paris to make the correct run. And Paris holds her run very, very well as well. Holds her run and picks an excellent pass with her left foot here. Okay, again, this is a fantastic pass because no one can get to it but Ellen White for a foul. Ellen White also holds her run and then picks the right spot to attack, the right space to attack. Look at where Ellen White starts. So she's our striker at the top of the red defensive line. She's starting more back post, gets away, farther away, farther away. And then boom, she tries to hold it just a little bit, comes inside, and boom. And they win a penalty off of that, in which they do not score. But the entire play, this is one of my favorite plays of the entire game, just one last time. Remember, there's so much going into this. And even we can even include the right winger here, far side, who is occupying Crystal Dunn, who cannot come in to also take Ellen White. So just by her positioning that far wide and this midfielder positioning that far wide, Crystal Dunn cannot go inside to defend Ellen White. Okay. All of that goes into play. This is one of the better passages of play. Now we're going to watch the second USA goal. I'm sorry? What do we see? We already saw a couple of things there. One more time. I hope this brings back fond memories for all of us. Third time, do not watch the ball, watch everything else. There we go. Before we start to break it down, does anyone want to say what they've seen, or should we go to it? We'll get to it then. Okay. All right. On this crossfield ball, look at that. What were we just talking on Dow Kemper's pass to Heath a couple slides ago? You said that she stopped her follow through. Okay. What do we see here? Can we tell? Does she stop her follow through?
No.
No. Okay. And what does that do to the ball then?
Curves it.
Let's see if we can see from here. Does it look like it curves a bit or not at all?
It's perfectly straight.
Perfectly straight? Do we all agree with that one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd agree if it's perfectly straight. I think it does curve a little bit. If you see there, it's at the top of its arc, it catches a bit of air and starts to curve a little bit farther wide, which gives Press more time on the ball. She can go too far. If she receives the ball too far inside, Bronze will get the ball. And also, if you see the positioning by Horan here, forces Bronze not to go too far wide because the middle is more important. Okay. So just a little bit of a follow through, which adds just a little bit of a curve, but it's enough. It's enough to make a difference. It's enough to, boom, bring the ball farther out. Look at where it starts going and look at where it ends. Okay. When does Horan look up? We're getting into the real minutiae, the details of these guys, okay? Only paying attention to the person who's passing the ball right now. Fairly easy then. When does she look up? When does she look up C. Morgan?
Right after she receives it.
Right after she receives it. Okay, she didn't take time to look too long at the ball. She didn't need to because the control was good enough. Boom, has a little feint. And fortunately, all it takes is 2 touches because Morgan, that might actually be the next slide. All right, let's go watch it a little bit more closely there. Morgan starts her run early. She lets her know what she wants to do there. And how about this assist here? A little YouTube ad there. How about this assist here? What do we see from it?
It dips.
It dips, okay. There's a little bit of backspin, as we mentioned earlier. Where does she hit the ball on her foot? What does she do as she hits it?
She leans backward.
She leans backwards, yeah, which helps get the ball into the air. Look at that balancing arm, her left arm, to balance her. That's why it's called balancing arm. And does she almost swipe at the ball? Yes, she does. Okay. And I think here we're going to have a look at what Morgan does. I do believe. Nope, we're looking at the cross one more time. All right. There you go. Just a little bit of a closer picture there. Okay. Do take the chance on YouTube. They have a bunch of different videos of how to hit the ball, to strike the ball for different effects on it. Do pay close attention to those things. And then, yes, we did not pay attention to the header. All right, so I added a couple of videos just in case we had more time. Okay. How do we successfully complete a chest control? Okay. So here we go. Press this control. Without this control, there is no goal. Let's get that clear. How do we successfully complete a chest control? I know a lot of us can control the ball with our chest, and some of us are still struggling. Our younger players, can we help them? How do we do this successfully? First off, is this a successful control?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. We can respond. Why is it successful? Not how, just
Yes.
why.
It stays in front of her.
Stays in front of her, yeah.
She seems balanced.
Maintains balance. Well done. Now, can we help describe how you would successfully control the ball with your chest? We know what to say when it's on the ground. You know, if you want to keep the ball on the ground, keep your chest over the ball, yada, yada. What do we know about chest controls?
I'll give a tip. She doesn't use her arms to not be hit by the ball. She controls the ball, and her arms help her control her body. Oh, look at that. It's not a handball.
There was one right there, okay? Absolutely no fear. All right, she's not just letting the ball hit her, which is another one. So first off, she's not involving her arms in the way of the ball. She's using her arms to balance her and to protect her, okay? Because anyone can come around. Using her arms to balance and protect her, and then she meets the ball. She doesn't let the ball hit her. She meets the ball. If you watch it closely, boom, push her chest out just as the ball is meeting her, boom, and cushions it. All right, we won't get into any more into that. We need maybe a little bit closer video. But all right, I wanted to get into that just a tiny bit. Now, how about the header? Very short video. What do we see here? Oh, sorry. See if we can see how long she keeps her eyes open as long as possible. So that's one. That's the first thing I will say. Keep your eyes open when you head the ball. Okay? Keep your eyes open when you head the ball. Close your mouth when you head the ball. What else can we give? What else can we say?
She uses her head to direct the ball towards the goal.
Absolutely. What part of her head?
Her forehead.
Forehead. Awesome. Also using a bit of the neck to direct it correctly. All right. Turns her body just slightly. I wouldn't even call that a turn, but slightly rotates her body, not even, but it's mostly neck and head in this situation that's directing the ball, but the strength comes from everything, including the impulsion. Look at how she jumps off of one leg, and look at her arms protecting her, okay? Sometimes we go up to head the ball, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone jump up with their arms stuck to their sides. No, you put them up to protect you, but also to give you more of an impulsion, okay? More strength to get up into the air. That's what she does here. And she turns her head, boom, just as she's heading the ball, and that's what takes it past the goalie. All right, and last but not least, okay, I wanted to see a little bit of more cheekiness from players here. It's a foul called against the USA. The midfield leader, there's a handball here. What does she do? Right there. What does she do right there? Okay. It's a free kick here. England wants to play it quickly. There's a switch on the left.
She stands in front of the ball to give their teams time to set.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, I can't speak for any other coaches, but I will say this on a personal level. I absolutely love this. If you do not have a yellow card already, you have to do this from time to time. Okay. Give your team time to set up and give yourself time to get in position here. Look at this. It forces England to slow down, gives their team time to get into position. The rest of the team has to make sure, though, that their teammate didn't just get in trouble with the referee for no reason. So you have to do that right away. I'll give another example from a known experience. We were with a senior team, but last 2 minutes of the game, we committed a foul. One of our veterans was not on the field at that point, too tired, old. And he would usually be the one to step in front of a free kick. Did not step in front of a free kick. It was played right away, goal, and we lost that game. Or we tied that game, I don't remember, when we could have won or tied the game. That just comes from that little moment there, those little moments there. What I want you guys to get across from these videos is that the little moments are huge. The little moments are huge, okay? And actually just 2 more videos, all right, to get us to 5 o'clock. Jill Scott is the tall midfielder, the tall English midfielder. And we're paying attention to what allows her to play this ball back to goal like this. This was the goal that was called off, the offside goal, I believe. So we're paying attention to her there. So from the beginning of the video, I want you to keep your eyes on her, right here. Okay, she's at the top of the English midfield. What does she do? We've talked about it a few times now.
She's scanning.
She's scanning, yes. Where does she position herself? Yes, go ahead.
She positions herself in between, like the lane.
There you go.
Line of under.
Absolutely. Okay, she's in the space, so she's in between the American midfield line and the American defensive line. So that's a space. You can see it right there. She's in a square. She's in the middle of a square. She finds herself in the space. If she had gone a little bit farther up, she'd be in a lane. But right now, she's in a space. Absolutely. And if you see, she's scanning, and then she's practically begging for the ball. She's got her arms out. We can't hear anything, but I'm sure she's yelling for it as well. Okay. Or maybe not, because she doesn't want to draw attention from the red team. Okay. And then knows where her teammate's going to be, and a flick of the ball puts it perfectly into Ellen White's path, who finishes it expertly. Okay. So this little Walsh passes her the ball. Jill Scott plays it excellently with the outside of their foot. She already knew where it was going to be. And White, does White look up at all? Yes, she does. Ellen White is right-footed, but finishes it with her left. Side foots it in. Doesn't complicate things. Doesn't overthink things. She says, it's a big goal, much bigger than the goalie. All I have to do is put it to the side. That's all it took. Just put it to the side, all right? Especially because the goalie didn't have very much time to react. So she said, all I have to do is put it to the side. The goalie's right in the middle. That means my angle isn't the best, but it's